40 years of developing hockey players from youth to the pros, Minnesota Hockey Camps has a player development program for you. Located in Breezy Point, Minnesota, our professionally coached on-ice development sessions, off-ice speed training, weight room sessions, stick handling sessions, shooting skill sessions are the right program for you. MHC takes great pride in its tradition with developing NHL players like Chris Stewart, Ryan Bugsy Malone, Scotty Hartnell, and TJ Oshie. Our dedicated staff is ready for you. Come check us out at MinnesotaHockeyCamps.com. Sign up for your chance to become the player you've always wanted to be. Hashtag who will be next.
Cold showers, leaking pipes, furnace giving you the chills? Look no further. At Iron Range Plumbing and Heating, we've got you covered. From expert plumbing solutions to HVAC magic and all sheet metal work, we are your one-stop shop for comfort and reliability. Professional service from a team that cares. Say goodbye to household woes and hello to peace of mind. Call Iron Range Plumbing and Heating today and feel the difference.
At Grand Rapids Chevrolet GMC in Grand Rapids, Minnesota, we have the trucks. Over 47 new Silverados and Sierras sitting currently on the lot with more to come. We have all the options: LT, RST, LTZ, High Countries, ZR2s. We have heavy duties. We have Sierra, SLT, Elevations, Denali's. We are equipped for the truck you are looking for. With great rebates currently, with up to $12,500 off on select models, now would be a great time to take advantage of savings and get yourself into a new truck today. Grand Rapids GM in Grand Rapids, Minnesota.
Welcome everybody to the Tea with Miss McGill Show, presented by the #1 casino in northern Minnesota. That would be Fortune Bay Resort and Casino. With that being said, make plans today to visit Fortune Bay Resort and Casino on beautiful Lake Vermilion. Fortune Bay offers 172 rooms and a smoke-free resort, indoor pool, full-service marina. Gonna need that sooner than later if the weather stays like today.
Yes, you are.
RV park. World-class golf, gonna need that soon too.
Unfortunately, I have to dust mine off now.
Gotta dust them off, yeah. Several dining options, a bar, and all the gaming you can handle. So visit fortunebay.com for more details and plan your trip right now to enjoy a night and to enjoy a weekend up at Fortune Bay. All right, week 15 of the boys high school hockey season. It is Puka speaking as the star of the show, Coach Reed Larson. Episode 106, coming off an emotional semifinal Saturday that we'll get into in a little bit here.
Yeah, it's emotional, all right. Like I said, I'm talking about my golf clubs right now, which I never hoped to talk about until the snow's actually gone.
Yeah.
So we'll get into talking about semifinal. We'll talk a little bit and preview a little bit of the section finals, which are coming right around the corner here tomorrow night as well as Thursday.
Yeah, you bet. All right, few new subs for the week. Georgiana Gabardi, who visited us at our party on Saturday. That would be grandma of Joey Gabardi for the Blue Jackets. Wes Belts, Ella and Temley, and Tristan Makala. So be just like these fine folks.
T-Mac.
You know T-Mac?
Right, yeah, he's our manager in Virginia.
Oh, there you go. All right, perfect. Thanks for subscribing, T-Mac. So be just like T-Mac and all of these other fine folks and subscribe to America's fastest growing hockey show right now. Great way to support the show at no cost to you. So, so we had our party at the Green Mill. Jackie, the manager, great. Harry was our guy. Pizza Beer took care of us. That Bulldog room had this nice little area, like I said, the newly remodeled Green Mill. So we haven't been there in a while. It does look a lot different. So, great time. Thanks for everyone that came. I think we're going to do it again next year. You know, I was thinking about it when we were riding home. There's really not a gathering of, I guess, the whole, a lot of folks in one place. So I was thinking, well, it's kind of nice, so hopefully we could build on it a little bit next year and have some more fun. So again, thanks for everyone that came out. We did not get to the drawing, so we're going to do them right now. We're going to put the pressure on Coach Reed Larson. So Fortune Bay, again, was gracious enough. Fortune Bay, for the Sunset Steakhouse, offered a $50 gift card, and Fortune Bay also offered a premium room night. So we'll do the drawing, circle back to us, Goatsportsmediallc at gmail.com, or if you know me, just shoot me a message. Coach, shoot me a message. We just need to get your address so we can mail this stuff out to you. So, Coach. Draw name and aim.
Just
Take a
one.
look. Just one for now. So this will be the $50 Sunset Steakhouse gift card. And it go. You know this. Oh, I love it.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Best Chisholm girl. She's the sainted, even though she's a female. Chisholm girl. Michelle Perpich is the winner of the $50 Fortune Bay Resort Casino Sunset Steakhouse gift card.
Show the card.
Oh, show. Okay. Yeah, we will show.
Yeah.
Michelle Perp. All right.
Unbelievable.
Michelle, congratulations. That'd be a great night for her to do a girls' night.
Yes, it would.
Great night for a girls' night. Okay. So, now this will be the premium room. Fortune Bay Resort Casino. Okay. And this is, oh, jeez. You see that last name?
Uh-huh.
I love it. He was there. You guys almost got to see this one. Neuter, Nate Knudsen. And this guy deserves it because as far as I know, Newt, and I think we mentioned it at the time, he was the one that spearheaded that Hockey Day in Cloquet.
Awesome.
Put that all together. So Neuter, they're going to Fortune Bay. So get a hold of Reader Eye or get a hold of Jokes. He's got my number. We'll get your address. We've got the certificates. We will mail them to you. So congrats to Neuter and congrats to Michelle. And like I said, we'll do it again next year. And most of all, thank you to Fortune Bay Resort Casino for providing.
This is really interesting that the two people that won, one is a Hibbing Chisholm person,
Ooh,
the other one is a CEC person.
Maybe I should just bring the certificates tomorrow, huh?
Check it out.
Check it out. That's a great observation there, Coach. All right, smash the like button right now. Let's giddy up into our games of the week presented by the Rink Sports Bar and Grill, just on from the Hockey Hall of Fame in beautiful Eveleth, Minnesota. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, daily specials, daily happy hour, 248-8582. Check them out on Mondays for Burger Night. Of course, Taco Tuesday, Wing Wednesday, the legendary Quad City Fish Fry, all you can eat on Friday. I'm going to be there Friday. I might check that out. And then Prime Rib on Saturday. 248-8582. Give Michelle a call, or of course, the ringsportsbarandgrill.com. Use up those gift cards, and when you see Michelle, tell her the Tea with Miss McGill show sent you. All right, so action-packed Saturday in Duluth at Amsoil semifinal. Saturday we'll start with the noon game. Duluth Marshall coming off an emotional come from behind victory over Forest Lake last week up against the Rock Ridge Wolverines. I would say, and of course you were busy and you're getting ready for your game. I would say like the first, 10 minutes or so of that first period, it kind of tilted. I thought the Hilltoppers, not huge pressure, but at least territorially, had an advantage. But then Kaz Carlson put Rock Ridge on the board. They scored two quick ones. Answered, though, by Marshall before the end of the first period to keep it a game. So 2-1 after one, but the wheels kind of fell off a little bit there in the second period for the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, there was a lot of special teams that took place, and like you said, I was getting ready for my game, but I was popping out from underneath, just looking from behind the penalty box and watching from here and there, and I saw a number of black and gold jerseys find their way to the penalty box, and a number of white and green jerseys find their way to the penalty box. And if you kind of look at the skill set of the two teams that you're talking about, both teams very skilled. But Rock Ridge has got a power play that if you're going to put them out there often, they're going to score goals. And that could definitely have taken some tempo. They may not have scored on every power play, but they definitely took some momentum from all of that when you got your best players on the rink, for quite some time because of the power plays and penalty kills, and they get themselves rolling. Yep. And Rock Ridge dominated the second half of the game.
Yeah. Saves were 30-17. Of course, shots were in favor of Rock Ridge. Marshall with 4 penalties. Rock Ridge with 9 penalties. With that being said, I have heard from parents, different coaches and stuff, and I think I mentioned a couple podcasts ago that Rock Ridge has a reputation of being undisciplined, and I now I guess I kind of saw it. 9 penalties. In some respects, kind of lucky to come away with a win anytime a team has 9 penalties.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said about playing the game with grit. And I like that about their game. I like that they play with grit. I like that they play with, a chip on their shoulder, try to get the upper hand as far as physicality and whatnot. But there's also a lot to be said, too, when some of your best players are spending some time in the penalty box more than they should be. And that's going to bode to be a problem. If that's going to carry over, and I guess we'll talk about this in our preview of the Section 7 AA Finals, but if that is going to carry over to the next game, if Rockridge is going to take that many penalties, there's going to be problems with a power play like Andover.
Sure.
That's all I can tell you.
Yep.
And we'll get into that, but we saw some discipline issues there too. There's definitely some things that, had we been in the position to be preparing to play in that game against Rockridge today, that we would be preparing for.
Yeah.
We'd be preparing for a lot of power play time.
Yeah, sure. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, and our buddy Diesel, 2 more Genos. His tally's now at 32 for the season. So, congrats to Mr. Dimberio. So a 5-3 victory for Rockridge. So of course they move on. Second game on tap. Thunderhawks, Huskies. Obviously I was at the game, and I told you kind of in the pre-chat, a couple of, I can't remember who it was, but I had heard it more than once when during warm-ups for you guys that Coach Clapton had a radio interview, and they were listening on the way down, and he said it's a race to 4. It's a race to 4 goals. Ends up being a 4-3 Andover win, but of course Rapids, you struck fast, struck first.
Yeah, within the first shift, we're able to get the tempo going and get some offense grinding in, and then pop one in the first shift. You're pretty excited, and the building erupts and the bench erupts, and even over on our corner of the champion suite is erupting. It was exciting to get that early tempo in the game and then get up on the board and maybe take a little bit of a deep breath for a second. Went for, quite some time where it was 1-0, and you could just kind of see the pressure lack a little bit from the Thunderhawks. It wasn't that they weren't going hard, because they were. Both teams were going hard. There were areas where the Thunderhawks were effective and areas where they were not as effective, and had a little bit harder of a time after that first shift, penetrating down low on their defensemen and making sure that we could sustain a decent forecheck and get some zone time. And that's probably an area where I don't think our top line had problems. I think it was more some of our other role lines had problems getting in fast enough to sustain pressure, and I think that's probably where the biggest issue was. However, we did get some pressure in the second period. We adjusted some things, we fixed some things, and ended up scoring a couple of goals in the second period, and one of those 2 goals definitely was pressure from the forecheck and a walk off the wall, and that goal was by Luke Palachek. But we talked about the difference. We said that it's a race to 4. That's something we talk about in every game. Very rarely are you ever going to see a goaltender of the stature of these 2 goalies that played in that game, with Carter and with Cash, rarely are you going to see either of those 2 goalies give up 4 goals. It's a rare occasion, and it just happened to be the night where it happened to us.
Well, yeah, it was right there. 1-1 after 1.
Yep.
3-3 after 2, right?
Yep.
And like I said, I missed some of the end of the second because I had to go the game started late, so I had to get over to the Greenville for the party. But
6 minutes left in the third period or so is when they popped the 4th goal. And like I said, not only is it a race to 4, but another thing that we talked about in practice is the difference is going to be in this game is who wins the special teams battle. And they had 2 power plays. We had 2 power plays. It was a very well-disciplined game with both teams. They both played hard. They both played with a chip on their shoulder, but both teams played a fair game. We only had, there was a coincidental, so obviously both teams had 6 minutes of penalties, right? They had 2 power plays. We had 2 power plays. They were 1 for 2. We were 0 for 2. That was the difference in the game right there.
Was that last one a power play?
No, it wasn't. The last one was not a power play, but the difference maker was the power play goal.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
They scored to tie it up on the power play in the first period.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So, Well, we always talk about that. That's something that we have to keep in consideration, and that's one thing that if I'm Rock Ridge and I'm scouting Andover right now, I would really be dissecting the power play right now. If they're spending any time at all in practice over the course of the next couple of days before preparing for that game against Andover, I would be spending at least 45 minutes a day trying to figure out how we are going to kill penalties against that team.
Sure. Yeah.
Because that is that big of a deal with the 5 guys they have out there and the system that Mark Manny runs and Leopold runs.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's the guy that knows what he's doing back there, right? Those guys run a phenomenal power play, and I thought we did a heck of a good job killing those power plays. It was literally one mistake that was made, and it was a rebound goal where we didn't pick somebody up. And it happens.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
happens.
yeah. I mean, hey, the teams are right there. I was telling you the pre-chat too. I was up there with a couple of dads, and you know, you just after the first are kind of pacing, and I don't know. I'm like, guys, what were you expecting? I mean, these teams are like this. You know, it's like it wasn't going to be 5-0 after one. You know, either way.
Let's be honest. The team that we played against right there is, in my mind, and I'm going to say this out loud so everybody can hear me, is the best team in the section right now.
Okay.
They were better than us.
Yeah.
They're the best team in the section, and you know the argument's going to be, well, we'll find out who the best team in the section is on Thursday, and yes, you will. But they are the best team that we've played in the section.
Sure.
And we played them twice, and they beat us twice.
Yeah.
Right. Anybody else in the section, we beat or we tied.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And that's in my mind, and I guess we will see who the best team in the section is. And you can't win it every year. We were very fortunate last year to make that trip to the state tournament. The stars aligned. The right group came together at the right time, and sometimes the stars don't align. And the one thing that I remember Coach Clafton saying at the banquet after last season is that was a fun experience. I want to do it again, and I'm sure you guys want to do it again. But just so you know, it's way harder to do it a second year in a row than it was to do the first time. And it sure is.
Yeah. Well, even last year, overtime, right? I mean, again, the team
harder.
Just like this, you know. I mean, they're right there. So, never going to be easy. But, all right. Anything else to add to that one?
Nope.
All right. So then we move on to the 6 o'clock game. Proctor Cloquet. Cloquet struck fast, just not quite as fast as you guys did, but not too much different. Proctor answered, but you know, they hung around kind of like Marshall hung around with Rock Ridge for a while, but the Jacks were just too much.
Yeah, you know, it was kind of short-lived. You kind of saw it, boom, goal, and then boom, oh, they tied up, and they're all excited, and then here we go. You saw that first line take over like they have all season long. With Knutson, Thornton, Gentilini, those guys were phenomenal. And then their top high-end defenseman, Carson Young, who was unbelievable. So,
I think he got the first one, as a matter of fact.
Correct, yeah. So, I mean, when you got superstars out on the ice like that, they need to be the superstars in big games like that, and they were the superstars in a big game like that. It didn't have to, in that game, it did not have to come down to goaltending, which is sometimes takes a little bit of the pressure off people on the back end. It came down to who was going to score more goals, and they just kept pumping them in.
They did. Right,
you know?
right.
And obviously, it comes down to who scores more goals, but it's a little bit different when the game is 2-1 or 3-2 than if the game is 6-2 or whatever the score was.
Right. Yeah, 6-3. I didn't even. I was just noticing. But I think it was 6-3. Could have been 6-2. But
at any rate, it's like you know when you don't have to sit there and worry about that aspect of the game, you've got guys that can bury the puck. That line can score.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And that's one of the interesting things. Well, even just high school athletics in general is when the better team kind of lets that other team hang around, and then it gets dangerous, because if you're better,
bury them
if you don't bury them, you let them hang around and you get a penalty or you get a lucky one. Or
you leave no doubt early in the game, and after a couple of minutes in the first period, they're like, oh yeah, we're excited, but from that. From the point they scored their second and third goal, there was never a time where people in the building thought, well, Cloquet is going to roll these guys. Yeah. Unfortunately, I hope I don't have to sleep in the garage for saying that tonight, since my wife is a former Proctor Rail class of 89.
Yes. And we met our classmate. We'll talk about him a little bit later. Or I met her classmate. You already know him, but we'll touch him later. All right, and then the final game, Chisholm-Hibbing. Hermantown Hawks, again, pretty well played game. what I kind of liked, I guess the one thing that pops in my mind about that game is the Cole Swanson hit where I think it was Jackson Erickson into the Hibbing bench. You
Awesome.
You don't see that
Awesome.
very often, but you could feel the intensity. Everyone came ready to play. 4 penalties each. Chisholm Hibbing 1 for 3 on the power play. The aforementioned Cole Swanson led everyone with 4 points, a goal, and 3 assists. Ends up being a 5-3 Blue Jacket win. Francisco for Hermantown with 22 saves. Wally for Hibbing with 27 saves. It was 5-2. I remember sitting there, we were up there talking as well. I don't think Hermantown's done scoring, and they put another one in. I wouldn't have been surprised if they even, had put a 4th one in. But I guess looking back at that one, Hibbing almost maybe timely goals. They kind of scored and
they executed when they needed to.
Yeah.
Yeah, they scored on the power play early, which really kind of came back, and that's really what kind of striked that offense for them and kind of got the momentum rolling. Is they were down 1-0, and then bang, scored on the power play, tied it 1-1, and then it was another shot, I think, by Tate Swanson, I think, that just found its way sneaking through the 5-hole. Like that normally doesn't go in on top end goalies like Francisco, but this kid can score goals, man.
Oh, yeah.
Buried that baby, and it that just kind of lit a fire in anybody that was in that building that cared about the area hockey. It's like, I never want to say anything foul about the program that Hermantown has built. It is unbelievable what Bruce Plant and some of the pioneers of that program have been able to do, and not only been able to do, but been able to sustain for as long as they've done. It's next to amazing.
Yep.
But everybody out there and their brother is hoping to see somebody different.
Yeah.
People like to see dynasties, but they also like to see dynasties fall.
Yeah.
And sorry to Pat Andrews and some of my friends that are there, Brant Nicklin, some of those guys. I know it stings because it's your program and your kid plays, Brant, but when a team like Hibbing comes through that has battled so hard through the youth program, have done the right things, have built a culture over the course of the last few years, and been able to knock this off. It felt a lot like when Greenway knocked them off a few years back. Right. It's like, for people, it was it's about time. And I remember when it went to what was the score at one point, 3-1 or something, Hibbing goes up. And I remember people up in the booth going, well, it ain't over yet. And I said, well, you know what? Anytime Hermantown's on the ice, it's never over.
Yeah, right.
And
I never felt good about it.
There are never moments where people got comfortable, and I think that was the standpoint on the bench for Hibbing. Jammer did a nice job of getting excited, but also keeping them calm. Like, hey, you better wait till that final buzzer rings, because these guys are not going to go down lightly. This is a team that is used to winning in this game and the next one. And this is a group of kids that did have success for Hibbing in youth hockey, but have never won in this setting before.
Right. Yeah.
So, but hats off to Hibbing Chisholm and being able to do that on an evening where I was pretty depressed after a loss, and heading over to Green Mill and putting a smile on and making sure that I'm friendly with our podcast party that was there, and then coming back. That was one thing at the end of the evening that actually put a smile on my face, was to see Hibbing win that game.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there was, looking through social media, there were a lot of new national holiday. I saw somebody say that. Jeez, this is...
Yeah.
Now, in going through, speaking of social media, I saw something from WDIO that I think, and you may remember, or we can have the audience. They said, first time Hermantown will not be in the and we make plenty of mistakes. So I'm not. 2008, but didn't Hibbing
Different section.
Blue Jackets, Blue Devils in 11?
Different sections.
Oh, they moved back out of the...
They were in Section 5 back in that time frame.
That's what they're talking about.
They were playing against St. Cloud Cathedral for a few years, so they went out of the section. I can't remember the last time they played in the section before they came back. But they were in Section 5 for a bunch of years, and during Section 5, for that time frame, when they were there, then it was Hibbing and Virginia playing in the section.
Yeah, I think it's when Marshall left, they came in. Is that kind of
something like that?
When Marshall went AA?
But at any rate, it was, I think in 2005 was the first year that Virginia went. I don't know who was in there with 06, 07, but then 2009 and 2010 was Virginia.
Right, yeah.
And then 2011 was Hibbing.
Right, yeah.
And then
Hermantown until...
Hermantown didn't come back in until 2014. That was their next year.
Oh, okay.
So they were
So maybe
still
it's
going
Marshall.
from Section 5, but there was some Duluth Marshall that was coming from our section back in that time frame. But then they came back in, and every 2 years they refunctioned a section, and they came back in 2014.
Oh, okay.
That was their year back in.
Okay.
And they've been in ever since.
Okay.
They
Yeah,
haven't
right.
been bumped out of that section.
Yeah, okay.
But they've won it every year from Section 7A since 2014, except
19.
this year and 19.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So yeah, heck of a dynasty, like you said. You gotta give them props. All right. Anything else on that one?
Nope.
All right. Good time to nail the like button. We are going to preview the big matchups coming up here. Our previews are presented by Aspire Heating and Control, your local Bryant dealer, and Bryant is the official heating and cooling company of your Minnesota Wilds. Aspire specializes in gas, electric, and hydronic heating and cooling systems for existing and new construction, residential and commercial installations available. Services include forced air systems, boilers, heat pumps, mini splits. They are, of course, licensed and bonded. And like I said, with the weather out there, it might not be too early to start at least thinking about the air conditioner tune-up. If you're looking for one of those, Aspire Heating and Control, 999-5957. Give Justin a call. He is a hockey guy. 999-5957. Aspire Heating and Control. All right, tomorrow night, number 1, Cloquet Esco Carleton. The Lumberjacks will take on the number 3 Chisholm Hibbing Blue Jackets.
Who you taking? This is now, we're going to do this for both. We're going to say,
All right.
who are you picking and who am I picking for the championship game for Section 7? Puka, you're going on.
I'm going on the record. Huh? Well,
Who are you picking to win Section 7A between Cloquet and Hibbing Chisholm?
I'm riding Chisholm. I'm going with the Chisholm Hibbing Blue Jackets, but you got to stay out of penalty trouble, because if you let, like you said, you let that line of Cloquets on the ice, you give them extended time, there's going to be a problem. Who's Coach Larson got?
Well, first I have to apologize to my stepfather. I'm sorry. I'm not picking Cloquet.
Ooh.
My
We're
stepfather
on
is
it.
a Cloquet grad, and he's probably going to send me a text after watching this. He's going to be mad.
Is he in Arizona? Are they
He
down?
is,
Yeah.
so I can. I've got at least until May 1st before I get whacked in the back
there
of the
you go,
melon.
yeah.
But I'm also picking Hibbing Chisholm to win that game, and I just think that what a great year for Cloquet. Let's go Carleton, and if I'm wrong, I'll eat crow. But I just think that a team that is hot at the right time,
I see that.
and I think a team that is used to success for the last 4 to 6 years, I think a lot of that is going to play into this. And you know, coaching aside, because I think you got the same thing on both benches. I think Shea Walters does an excellent job with his team, and I think Aaron Jamnick does an excellent job with his team. So I don't think it's going to come down to X's and O's as much as coaches want to say, well, we got out-coached this or that. I think it's going to come down to who's ready in the moment and who's riding hot, and I think Hibbing is riding hot right now.
Yeah.
But it is difficult to beat a team 3 times. So what was the first matchup?
Oh, no, it'd be twice, because Cloquet won the first one.
They won the first one, okay.
8-4.
I thought, for some reason, I thought Hibbing won both. So this is perfect. You got yourself a match.
Yeah.
Now, somebody's going to come out the winner.
Right, yeah, because then they
Even
played
Steven.
2 weeks ago today.
Yeah.
Last regular
That-
night you were in
That was a
Hermantown.
pounding.
And that was, I think, 6-2 Hibbing.
Yeah.
Someone can correct us on both of those. Let us know. But yeah, like you said, I think, like I said, unfortunately, Cloquet ended the season. They went up to, they had the Rosa-Woro deal. They had, kind of a tough weekend. And then the Hibbing loss. I think they ended up 0-3 there at the end. And like I said, I think Hibbing's, at least for them, hoping, peaking at the right time here. So
I'm going to pick. That's who I'm picking. I'm
Okay.
picking Hibbing. So we got 2 people that are picking Hibbing Chisholm right now. again, I don't want to get kicked out of the family, and I don't want friends over there to get mad, but that's just what we're picking.
Yep. Throw your picks in the comments, please.
There was a lot of people that picked against me, and I didn't get mad here last week. So just remember that.
That's right.
A lot of people I heard when they're picking between Grand Rapids and Andover, and I'm hearing, "Oh, I'm picking Andover." I'm like, "Hey, you got your, you were right this time. Last year you weren't."
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, but this year it's what matters.
That's right. We're in 2025.
That's right.
All right, so that's tomorrow night, Amsoil Arena. I'm assuming 7 o'clock start, WDIO. And then Thursday night will be AA, number 1 Rock Ridge riding their 20-game unbeaten streak. And that's one thing we talked about. The guy was sitting with Mike when Marshall, like I said, Marshall kind of, like I said, it wasn't extreme pressure, but it was kind of sitting in their end. And I kind of looked at him and said, I don't know, they haven't lost in a long time. They come in a little, because like you said, it's tough. It's tough to go on this long run. But Rock Ridge riding the 20-game unbeaten streak versus number 3 Andover, 12-3 since the calendar flipped to 2025. So I don't know. You want to start on this one, or I'll start? Who you got then? I'll give you my pick.
We want to give these ones here?
Yeah. So are we gonna pick these two?
Yeah, we are. And I'm going to start with everybody would assume that, well, you're going to be cheering for Virginia because that's where you coached. And I might, in the back of my mind, be cheering for my old town that I used to coach for, but I don't think they're going to win.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't. We played both teams. We've seen both. Both teams are well coached. I've said it a couple of times. Andover is the best team we played in the section, and we played them twice.
Okay. Yeah.
Rock Ridge was good
you
too.
played them twice basically in the last month.
We saw something different in this building. And regardless of how it ended in a tie. So we can't say that we're better. We can just say that we're the same right now. But we've seen a lot over the course of the last couple of months and the last few weeks, and just telling you that team in Andover they're not respected the way they should be because of the schedule that they started the season off with, and they started off 0-9. Right. But since the changeover in the calendar year, going 12-3 is pretty impressive from that point on. And there's a lot to be said about a team that had to dig themselves out of a hole at the beginning of the year. And I remember shaking hands with Mark Banney after the game when we played him earlier in the season, back in the beginning of February, and I shook his hand and said, you guys have really put together an awesome second half of the year. And he said, it's been a grind, it's been work, but this team has come together. And he said they really have, and that hopefully plays into our favor late in the year. And I think that's gonna. And again, there's a lot to be said about a team that goes through tough times. They lost games early in the season. They're not on a 20-game unbeaten streak, and I'd hate to see that 20-game unbeaten streak end in the section finals. But I do. I'm picking Andover just because I think they're better, and I think that they're more disciplined, to be honest.
I'll take your cue right there then. And that's as much as Westy, Freed.
I love you guys. I do. And I want to see you have success. I want to see Nisky have success. The kids and the families in that town, I want to see them have success too, because I do. I love Virginia. Yeah. Right? But I'm telling you, in my game and in time of coaching the game, this is just my opinion. I could be wrong.
Well, I'm going to go with Andover, and that's the reason is well, we've been doing this, 5 years? I just haven't heard people keep saying to me, but that team, they're undisciplined, and I'm just worried. I mean, like I said, their last game, 9 penalties. 9, who gets 9 penalties in a high school hockey game? And even if you get half that, you got what, 2? Or they had 2 power plays, right?
Yeah.
Because you had some coincidentals in there. So I think that's...
I'll put this in there too. When we went down there to play them earlier in the season, we took 4 penalties down there earlier in the season, and they were 2 for 4, and we were 1 for 5.
Okay, yeah.
So there's a difference. If you are going to put Andover on the power play more than twice, you're going to lose. Yeah, okay. I'm telling you. Okay. And that's just the way there is to it. I wish I were wrong. I wish that I would like somebody, and part of this, maybe part of me deep down is saying this out loud on this podcast because I want to piss a couple people off and see if they can prove me wrong. Quite honestly, there's people that need to stay out of the penalty box on that team because they're way more useful being out on the ice than you are sitting in the penalty box. And
we've talked about that.
It's been a problem. It really has. And if I'm over there working with Matt and his team and Freeds and Colby and Westy, I'm working on the penalty kill right now nonstop because there are not too many games that I've seen where guys haven't either been thrown in the box, a 5-minute major, a 5 in a game, running a guy after a goal. Guys have to be under control. They have to. And this is an emotional game already as it is. And all I'll say is this is just who I'm picking. It isn't necessarily who I want. I'd rather see a Northern team go, and we have, just go back and listen to the podcast for the last 2 to 3 years. We'll always protect our area teams and talk about our area teams, and we're positive about our area teams. This is just an opinion you're asking me because who do you think in your expert opinion, your coaching opinion? This is what I think right now today. After watching these teams play all year. This is what I think.
All right. Fair enough. All right. Yep. So good luck to all 4 squads, and by Friday we'll know what's going on, and they will be some pretty happy players, coaches, families, cheerleaders, brothers, sisters, all that good
I will
stuff
accept all of those phone calls afterwards. If Rock Ridge wins and those calls and texts come in and they send me the middle finger emoji and whatever this and that, I will take them all and say, you got me, touche, congratulations. I will be the first one to eat crow if that happens. Because I would rather see somebody from up north represent Section 7. No question about it.
Be great. Be awesome.
No doubt.
All right, let's move on to our scores and more. We only got a few of them here, but Iron Range Apparel. You see Coach Larson with the cool ODR swag. Instagram, Facebook, new location, Super One on Highway 53 in Virginia, the Gift Buyer's Paradise. They do the screen printing. They do our hats, visors, hoodies. So if you're looking for that service, you do that. Or if you're looking for, like I said, the special gift for somebody, jerseys, caps, baseball caps, hats, ODR swag, Iron Range Apparel, over at the Super One on Highway 53 in Virginia. All right, Bemidji defeats Rosso 5-1 at Moorhead for the Section 8 AA final tomorrow night. I know you got the Spuds in that one.
I'm taking the Spuds.
He's taking the Spuds.
I don't think the Spuds are going to lose another game the rest of the year, if I'm being honest.
No, they're a freight train.
I said that last year about Warroad. What happened? I think I lost.
Yeah, well, and then who was it? Last year, 2 years ago, Tonka. They're supposed to win it all with all that line.
Oh yeah, that was last year.
Last year with the Mr. Hockey, and they didn't even make it.
They lost Chan.
Or Chan, yeah, Chan beat Jessica Chan. Warroad 5-2 winners over DL will host East Grand Forks Thursday night for the Section 8A Section Championship. And let's scroll down here. The Wilderness of Evelyn, 5-2 winners over the Alexandria Blizzard. The Walleye Scott CFP Edina Hornets update. Potentially the last one of the year. We'll see what happens. 5-2 winners over Holy Angels. They host Wayzata tomorrow night. Section finals. And then what was the other one? Who did I see? Maple Grove got upset by...
Doesn't surprise me.
Oh, gosh. Anyway, Maple Grove got upset. Someone throw it in the comments. I don't think it was Chaska Chan, but... No, because they're in the different section. Champlin, I think. Champlin Park, I believe. So they will play Rogers, and I think that's 5 AA.
Rogers is going to make their first trip to the state tournament.
Well, Vukic,
I'm calling it.
Chisholm guy, Vukic, well, his dad's a Chisholm guy, but he told me last spring at his grandfather's funeral, he said, we should have made it in Pee-wees. We should have made it in Bantams. We keep running the Maple Grove.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
But you're not running into Maple Grove this year, Vuk.
No.
So, make her happen. All right, some big news up here in the Northland. The Mercury Bishops.
Number 12.
22 years later, the last Miss Hockey in the Northland, Andrea Nichols, Chisholm Hibbing. The Merc over the weekend, I think on Sunday, named Miss Hockey, 86 points, led the state in goals and points, ends her career with 381 points, 12th all-time in the state. I just want to congratulate her. I want to congratulate the whole family. Great hockey family. I see her brother Hunter was there. Don, Laura, you've had the pleasure of coaching her. I had the pleasure of coaching her when she was just tiny, smiley, fun, happy, wanted to be at the rink. We were kind of hoping for this from the beginning of the year. So
yeah, just really excited for Merck. It goes back to my one and done year of coaching girls hockey, and I had the pleasure of coaching her when she was a 7th grader. It was 7th grade. It was her first year playing high school hockey. She came right out of Pee Wee's.
Yeah. Double A's with the boys.
She was on the first line. Yeah. On the first line as a 7th grader playing with Claire Vekic. And what an awesome experience coaching her. And it was fun to get to know her. I can now have her in class right now.
Oh, you do?
So I got to see her. I got her to see her today and talk to her a little bit today. And you just congratulate her. Merck, it is awesome to see this and see you win it, and everybody was rooting for you. I was over the moon excited when I got that text on Sunday.
Yeah.
Ridiculously excited. Congratulations, Merck, and to the Bischoff family, and to the Grand Rapids Relay Lightning. That is a feather in the cap of the entire program.
Yeah,
Coach Iduk and Ike. And Kelsey, you guys have done a great job with those girls, and congratulations.
Okay. I know what I was going to say now. We were talking about Rosemont a little bit earlier and Proctor guys. So, what do you call it, the champion suites? We're in there, and I get this Val Kilmer thing every once in a while.
Oh, yeah, you're Val Kilmer, yeah.
And a gentleman comes up to me and he says, hey, he says, I can't remember what he said, but I was thinking he was going to say, hey, you know who you look like, Val Kilmer, and he says, hey, I watch your podcast. I'm a Proctor grad with Reed's wife, he said. And he says, but I hear your podcast, and you're always talking about the Rosemont moms. Well, I'm a Rosemont dad. I was at the banquet last year.
Talking about his wife.
Yeah.
Careful.
Yeah. So anyway, wants a picture, sends it to the Rosemont moms. We had a lot of fun with it, but his son's on the team. So another
Chris
reason.
Lonke.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So shout out to Chris. Another shout out to all the Rosemont moms, and they are going to potentially be partying again tonight because Rosemont at Cretin in the semifinals for that's going to be Section 1, I believe, down there in the south.
Yeah, two maybe.
2 or something.
Yeah, I can't remember.
So it's Rosemont, Cretin, St. Thomas. I don't know who Thomas is playing, but those are the 4 still alive down there. So God, what a tough road. I mean, jeez, it's not easy getting to state, kids.
It's not easy. And
getting to state in 2026 starts today.
And it's even harder if you're a team like Cretin, who would be going on their 3rd or 4th year in a row, making it. It's hard to repeat.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
And if you go 3-peat or 4-peat, that is amazing.
Right. Well, gets back to Hermantown. That's what makes it so impressive when you can just
without a doubt
that dynasty. So,
yep.
Good luck to they're the Rosemont Irish. I'm 99%. Oh, by the way, I found a 1989 state Bantam A. Only had one class back then. Bantam A state tournament shirt at my buddy. Played in it. Chisholm made it. Not Chisholm, maybe Chisholm. And Rosemont on that T-shirt back in '89.
Oh boy!
So, yeah. So that was pretty cool. All right. Anything to add to FE 106?
I don't think so. I think get out tomorrow night and get out if you're planning on heading down to Amsoil and support the Single A Section Championship game. Otherwise, if it's too long of a drive and you're too tired after work, pull it up on WDIO and you'll be able to watch it live on television. And Thursday, get out and support. If you're a Rockridge Wolverine fan, for that evening, I will be a Rockridge Wolverine fan too, as much as it didn't sound like it a couple minutes ago.
100%.
I will be rooting for the Northern team to win. And there's going to be a lot of travel coming from the green country over there. It's weird to say green country because I don't like the color green at all whatsoever. But to me, it's still blue and white. But at any rate, get out there and watch that.
TJ says it's maroon and gold.
Yeah, he'll say that too, and it's actually not. It's gold and black, TJ. It's Evelyn Gilbert. But yeah, get out and watch those and support. Like I said, if you're a Rock Ridge fan, get your green and white on. If you're an Andover fan, there'll probably only be about 60 of you there because usually it's only the parents that show up.
There was 0
Yeah.
student section.
And probably 4 or 5 people in that student section there. It's really kind of sad, you know, that I can just imagine what that building would look like if things were different. It would have been half orange and half green, and that would have been great. But I can only dream. Hopefully that happens next year.
Yeah, 100%, you know. And, well, there's realignment next year, so maybe a couple more teams will sneak into AA will boot. And over the heck, they can go play Elk River and Blaine and all those teams out there. All right. Find us everywhere. X, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the Musi app, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble. We're everywhere. Got some new merch from the aforementioned Iron Range Apparel. Appreciate that. So if you're looking for a tee, let us know. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. We'll take care of all that. And a big thank you, as always, to the greatest partners on earth: Aspire, who you're in control, the Ring Sports Bar and Grill, Iron Range Apparel, Fortune Bay Resort Casino, Zorba's of Grand Rapids, Iron Range Goalie Academy. Right here, baby. Thanks, Derek. Grand Rapids Chevrolet GMC, Minnesota Hockey Camps, right here. Jackson Hole Moose Hockey Club, Iron Range Plumbing and Heating, and the First National Bank of Chisholm Cook. For Reed Larson, I am Puka. Kids, it's finals. Get out there and be your dream. You're tuned to the Tea with Miss McGill Show.
First National Bank of Chisholm, where tradition meets the future. Locally owned and operated from our historic Lake Street location in the heart of Chisholm since 1905. From savings to your first big purchase, we're your partner every step of the way. First National Bank of Chisholm, the power to do more.
All right, fellas, you just can't get the hockey itch out of yourself. The college route isn't for you. Community college route isn't for you. The junior hockey route isn't for you. Well, there's still hockey that you can play. Why don't you check out the Jackson Hole Moose out in Jackson Hole, Wyoming? Take a look at these guys. Full crowds, full hockey, packed houses every night. Get a hold of TJ Thomas on Facebook, and he can get you hooked up with what's going on out there in Jackson Hole.
To hear about Zorba's specials. On Mondays, it's Micro Monday. All taps are just $4. Tuesdays, $3 tacos and $4 Dos Equis. Wednesdays, personal pizzas, $8 and domestic taps, $4. Thursdays, we have deals on nachos and $5 Surly taps. We offer trivia on Wednesdays at 6 p.m., bingo on Thursday at 6 p.m., and then karaoke Thursdays at 10 p.m.
Did you know that fascia strength training is great if you have a banged up body and you'd like to heal and get stronger at the same time? Unlike muscle focused exercise that leaves your body stiff and achy, fascia strength exercise releases muscle tension and fills your body with a spring-loaded power and cat-like agility. Fascia strength is great for athletes and martial artists. If you'd like to pursue this training, take a look at my program, Fascia Strength and Power. I'll leave a link in the description box below.